you doing, dude?
Feeling good. About yourself?
Not too bad, man. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you.
Always down for the team.
Dude, hell yeah. Guys, welcome to another episode of Help I'm High and Can't Get Down. I'm with your boy, Marc Fazon.
What's good? What's good? I like that name. That's a good name.
Thank you. Get out of my face.
Yes.
Is that your catch line?
That's my catch line. It's all my merch says that, shameless plug. Better get about my face. It started because what's crazy is my son would be asking me for stuff, like he would ask me for the most random stuff, and I would try not to yell or cuss at my kid, and that's what came from. I'm like, boy, you better get about my face with that stupid stuff. And it became a thing, and I would just say it after different things, and then at shows I typically end shows with that or something like that. Like I do my little tag,
okay,
especially if I'm selling merch. I definitely want to make sure y'all know.
You gotta throw it in there.
Gotta throw it out there, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long have you been doing comedy for?
It's officially 8 years now.
Okay.
So 8 years in November.
Because that's crazy. Because I feel like I've seen your name everywhere,
right?
Like on like social media and stuff like that. But I didn't actually. I feel like meet you unless I'm wrong. Unless we met.
No,
I
think you're right. Time? I think that was the first time officially.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But that's how the comedy world goes. Like if I see a comic, I'm like, and they from the city, I automatically want to connect because I never know if our paths are going to cross and if we can make something dope happen.
Yeah. So you've been doing it for 8 years, and you're from Columbus?
Born and raised.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So where did you start out at?
So my start was Scarlet and Gray on High Street. They shut that place down, but it used to be a little pub there. And when I first started going, Hassan was the host. Hassan Hancock was hosting. It was a dope room. It was like one of the better rooms for like open mics. And I went for like a month straight and just watched. And he kept saying, bro, I know you want to get up here. And I was like, man, I don't know. I was nervous about it. So I told myself I'm going to go up there one day, and I recorded it. And I said, if I bomb, it ain't nothing but college kids here, and don't none of them know me, and I'll just never come back. That first time I did really well, and I recorded and I uploaded to YouTube. So that kind of like kickstarted everything. Because I'm like, now people have seen it. Like 300 people saw my video, that first video. I was like, all right, now I got to keep doing this now. And I fell in love and never looked back.
Dude, I feel like that's always how it is. Like you go up, and I feel like I was just garbage for the first year. You know what I mean?
The first year I was no. That first show was good. The rest of the year was garbage.
You just got lucky. You know?
I got lucky that first show, but after that I was garbage.
But yeah, because I just like, I feel like maybe I had good sets, maybe, but like I guess they were good enough for me to keep going. You know what I mean? Like I didn't get so and I had some really bad sets before, but I mean, I guess not as bad as the ones that were good. And like, dude, I'm talking bad. Like I was looking at like some of my tightest stuff from like September of 2021.
Right.
And bro,
it was bad.
It was bad. Like that stuff was like still like my 20-second jokes were still like 45 minutes or minute long. Ooh. And I was like, what is happening?
Were you doing actual shows or were you just doing open mics though?
Those were just open mics.
So you're fine then. Because like I said, that first year is building that set up and just working on your content and just getting stage presence. Okay. So you're good. You were right in the place then.
All right. So you've been doing a lot of shows. You do mostly private, right?
I do a lot of private because, like I said, because I don't cuss, so I get a lot of private and corporate gigs off of that, and I do okay.
I didn't notice that.
Most people don't. You don't like I said I don't like. Oh yeah, I'm the non-cussing comic. No, I just go up there be funny, and then you be like people didn't realize that Trevor doesn't cuss. Trevor Noah doesn't cuss. Sinbad didn't cuss. Mark Gregory, absolute beast from Ohio, doesn't cuss. It just opens you up to a little bit more. I always tell people, if you're a comic, get a 5 to 10 minute set that's clean, because you never know when you're gonna need it.
Wow. Mm-hmm. And so what is technically clean? So if you've been doing like a lot of private gigs, like I hear a lot of people say clean, and they'll be like, oh, what are you doing for the clean show? And then they'll tell me their stuff, and I'm like, all right, I guess I don't know what clean is. Like maybe.
So you can kind of flirt with the line, but that's kind of you, like I said, as an experienced comic, you kind of look at the audience and you kind of gauge it from there. But typically it's just no cussing and then nothing too vulgar. So I can talk about sex stuff, but I just kind of have to bob and weave a little bit, like that.
Like asshole.
I can't say
booty.
I can't say the dick in a pussy or anything like that. But I'm like, hey man, I put my carrot stick in her something else. Like you got to be creative with it. And that's
put my carrot in her cake.
Yes.
Just like
I might use that. Might have to write
yeah,
that
take
down.
it, take it.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna put my carrot in her cake tonight. Yeah. So like you just have to get creative with innuendo. So that's about it. But like typically, as long as you're not cussing and you're not like just like, abrasive, it's clean.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I feel like some of my jokes are clean.
Mm-hmm. Because you have a couple that you can like I said that like I got jokes that aren't exactly clean that I can use for regular shows. And the shows that are like where they specifically say I need somebody clean.
You just like flip some words
I just
around.
flip some words around and just make it work.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's basically it.
All right. Yeah. I feel like that's interesting. I might have to look and see if I could do that.
Like I said, get you 5 to 10 minutes of clean. Just keep it in your back pocket because you'll never know when somebody says, "Hey, I need a comic," and they gotta be clean. With 10 minutes of clean, you can freestyle for 5, and you got a 15-minute set.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So I wonder how much of my material would actually be considered clean because I feel like I have probably almost like 10 minutes. So it's like
I think you got a good 5 to 6 that you can use that could be clean.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay.
So
yeah, and I mean we just did that show in Troy,
Ohio.
Yeah,
Shout out to them.
They were feeling you and Tony, dude.
Listen, they enjoyed everybody. It was a good show.
Dude.
We just had to, we had a little technical difficulties, and we made it work though. But like I said, I realized once I saw everybody else's go, I was like, okay, I gotta have high energy, and then I gotta get the people on my side.
Exactly.
Once I did that, it was pretty much smooth sailing from there.
That was like one of the things that I noticed with that crowd is that like if you weren't like being like if you weren't like talking at them, they were just like
they couldn't.
If you were just doing stand up,
right,
like you were doing at any mic, you know what I mean?
It wouldn't hit.
Yeah.
But I think it's like I said with an older crowd, I know he said there was like 18 to there wasn't nobody under 18.
Yeah, there was nobody under the age of 50.
That sounds about accurate, yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Like for real.
And I'm like, I'm looking around like, yeah, ain't nobody in here our
People
age bracket.
walking around with oxygen masks.
There literally was somebody there with oxygen.
Just like,
and I'm mad at myself because I didn't say nothing. Hey, let me get a hit of that real quick. I should have said something. Hey, let me just get a puff or two real quick, bro.
Shout out to Troy.
Yeah, Troy, Ohio, man. Yeah, it was a good time though. I'm really big on road trips though. That's what I might do maybe one a show or
as
month.
A group.
Yeah,
as a group.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
to travel.
If you driving separately, what are you doing? You're missing out.
You're missing out.
Yeah.
Facts. Like I said, typically if I'm doing a show, I usually my homeboy comedian Silas, I'll like, hey, get in the car, we ride together, and if I'm booked and I'm like, I'm gonna just throw you like 15 minutes and I'll pay you out of my pocket. That's usually what I'll do. Or I'll be like, hey, can you get some time or whatever? Because sometimes it's about just, exposure. Because like I said, if they've never seen you before, you come out and have a good set. Oh, the next time I'm looking to book, I'm gonna hit you up.
Exactly.
So that's stay ready so you ain't gotta get ready.
That's like something that I always like tell people about like just like stage time in general. It's like stage time is important, but you also really want to get in front of people. So it's like if you ever have like when people get to like accidentally open for somebody.
Yeah.
for me, it's not even the fact that like you're opening for that person.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's that you get to do your set in front of a sold out room.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have a chance to see. It's like, this is a real life fucking comedian that's coming in.
Right.
And you have the opportunity to do 5 fucking minutes or something like that.
That's a good point. Because like I said, typically when you open for like a big name comic, I think maybe 1 or 2 of them has actually seen my jokes. For the most part, they in the back in the green room. They ain't paying attention to you.
I'm not even worried about them. Yeah. I'm worried about like the people. Because it's like I said, it's like they came to see that person and it's like now you get to like showcase yourself and they didn't even bring you.
Right.
So it's like you're not like probably the same style. You're not like the same like whatever they're looking for in their features or openers or whatever.
That's true.
So yeah, so it's just like
good point.
you have a chance to really like showcase yourself, try to get yourself out there. Yeah, they're probably not going to remember you. Who knows?
But what you do is
if you kill it, if you fucking kill it,
that's the difference. Somebody go, hey man, who was that guy that went? Who's that Eddie kid?
Exactly.
We did a show with this guy named TK Kirkland.
Okay.
And to promote the show, we created a skit making fun of him. And never in a million years did I think he would see it. But before we like I said, I had just got off stage and he came up. He like, hey man, which one of y'all did that skit? And it was me and Silas. I was like, oh yeah, we did. I was like, I said no offense or nothing. He said, he said that was funny. I was like, he even shared it. I was like, yo. So it was like that kind of was like a aha moment for me. Like, okay, if you got an idea, separate yourself, do something different. I'm like, listen, so if everybody's talking about dick, pussy, all that stuff, talk about something different. You, like I said, you got to learn how to make those adjustments on the fly.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
There's a few new comedians that I've been like talking with and writing with that I'm like, that's like my main goal is to get them to stop talking about their dick. I'm just like, dude, like
if you go to open mic and
like
you don't
you're
hear a
talking
dick
about
joke,
how small it is.
Yes.
How do you have that much material? How do you have that much material on a tiny dick?
Yes.
I don't get it.
Yeah,
It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you know what I mean? You should have 2 jokes.
That's
3
it.
jokes tops.
Right.
If you have a tiny wiener. If it's huge, go ahead.
But
I
even,
don't know.
Even in that sense, who wants to hear about somebody's dick all day long?
I know.
I'm like, eh.
I know.
One dick joke is it. After
Exactly.
That, like I said, and then like I said, but once again, a lot of open micers, a lot of open micers get stuck on surface level comedy, so they don't dig a little bit deeper. I always tell people your personal life is your best material. The stuff that you can relate to, that you can actually tell, because it's not you trying to be funny. It's you're just telling your truth.
Exactly.
My best material is stuff that's really it's a variation of the truth. So they're like, did that really happen? I'm like, yeah, I might have sprinkled a little bit of me on there, but for the most part, that's what happened.
Yeah, same thing with me. Like my mom joke, my dad joke, definitely.
And those jokes hit though.
Yeah, and actually, I did another show recently, and I had like there was like a really tight crowd, and like there was a group of 20 people who were laughing.
Okay,
like the entire time. The rest of the group was really tight. All of my jokes hit with these 20 people, but the like my family stuff, like you can tell there's like it's a small difference, like but it's like deeper. You hear like the bass because there's like more people like laughing.
Because relatability is universal.
Yeah.
Like I said, we can all have a shared experience, no matter what walk of life you in. That's why I said, like I said, your truth is your best material. If you can tap into that, and that's how you kind of get away from people saying, "Oh, well, he stole a joke from me." No. This happened to me. This is my experience.
Exactly.
I forgot who said that. I think it was like Tony Rock or something like that. He was doing a podcast, and he was like, he said that was his thing.
Okay, so like I think there was like another comedian that there was like a bigger comedian name. He did a special, and I had heard that he did jokes. That was I think it was a black comedian doing another black comedian's jokes.
I think it might have been Earthquake maybe, or was it said? It's like I said, that's pretty much standard, like industry standard. Like somebody's gonna steal your joke.
But it was like a situation like that happened to him. Like their kids like stole cookies from a cookie jar.
I wonder if that was David Arnold. It might have been him. Like I said, but it's like I said, this has been happening since the dawn of comedy.
That's crazy.
Robert Williams used to steal jokes. He was infamous for it.
Yeah, I heard that he used to just like give people money and be like, "Hey, I stole your joke," but whatever.
When like I said, so he was still early in his career. He didn't know that it was taboo. He knew something was funny. He would take the joke and go to another club and do it. Now he was a bigger name. Now I don't know who put him aside. Was like, hey, like people, they were looking for you, like, cause like I don't believe that anything is worth fighting. Like a joke is not. I'm not fighting about over no joke. Is what I'm saying. Until somebody steals my joke, then I'm like, man, I might want to punch him or something. Like I don't even know what I would do. Like
especially if it's like a really good one.
If it's a banger, I might have to fight you. Like I might have to walk on stage. Like, hey man, Mike got your hand. Like I don't even know what I would do in that situation. So.
Have you ever had a situation where someone's like stolen one of your jokes, or like where you have like maybe thought that you stole someone's joke? Because I have had that where I've like written a joke and I was like, man, I think I stole this. I didn't.
So, I don't want to say stole, but in the sense of like I had a similar concept. Like I had a joke that
like the parallel thinking.
Yeah, I had a really good joke, and then Dion Cole did his special, and he has a huge following, and his joke is good, but my joke was just a little different, but it had the same concept. I scrapped it. I said, you know what? I said I'm not gonna do it because no matter, even though I wrote that joke before he even did his special, no one's gonna believe that.
Now, so let me ask you this: what if your joke was better? What if he did his joke on a special, still killed, but like you do your joke, it murders, and you're like, I don't know, dude, I think mine might actually be better. But it's not the same punchline or anything.
I would rewrite it still, so it just to take it from a different perspective.
Gotcha.
Where I keep that punchline in there, but just take it from a different perspective, so that it doesn't so the parallels are different. Just because like out of respect to an OG or somebody who's a vet in the game. You know, it's like I said, it don't take nothing to rewrite a joke.
Yeah.
Like, well, I won't say it don't take nothing. It's hard to do, but like I said, that's why what you guys are doing, which is I think is genius. Like I said, you get a crew together and y'all bounce ideas off each other. So you got a concept. Like I know this is something here. I just don't know what. Mm-hmm. You bounce it off like 3 other people who have a different point of view from you. You're gonna find some funny out of that.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's I think that's genius. I always tell people to do that.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I've been trying to build for a really long time. It's just like really hard to find like a cohesive group of people who are also like pointly, or whatever the term would be, just like showing up, just being there whenever like it's time. It's like I feel like in the past, whenever I've tried to get groups together, it's always been like, hey, let's do like a weekly or even bi-weekly like writing session, and then it just turns into once a month, and then it turns into, hey, I haven't seen you in 6 months. Where the fuck have you been?
You still alive? Like, come on.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's the part that, like I said, even like the top guys in the city, they write together. Mm-hmm. Like you, Jason, Bobby, Kenny, all their pen games are strong. So the fact that they all come together.
I love seeing Jason when Red Rock's going on and about. I love seeing him out there.
He just does it. Like I'd be like, people like I remember somebody told me that, they were like, do you know this guy named Jason Banks? I'm like, yeah, I know Jason. They were like, he's like really funny. I'd be like, I said, you guys have seen TikToks,
bro.
TikToks is cool. His stand-up is killing his TikToks.
That's my favorite thing, when someone's like, yo, check out this fucking video, and it's literally Jason Banks. I'm like, oh, I know him.
I know him.
Like,
you want me to call him right now? Like, yeah.
And then, but they just don't, like, the difference between, like, a funny video and stand-up, and, like, he also does a really good job of, like, translating, like, his funny between the two, like, onto the stage. Like,
it's done so well. Like, he arguably is like I said, like if you're saying Jason Banks is not in your top 5, I can't listen to nothing you say if you're talking about local guys.
Yeah.
Just like I said, it's hard. Like I said, because comedy is subjective, but once again, he is really good.
So Tracy Morgan was supposed to come into the Funny Bone, and like he ended up like not showing up.
Oh wow.
And so we had a bunch of like local people come in, and he stopped in for one of the shows. I think for the Saturday one. I think maybe. And yeah, he did like 15 minutes and fucking crushed it. Like he like did I watched him do 5 minutes at the showcase. Dude, it's just insane watching him go up, and it's like, I want to be there one day. Like, how do you get there?
But like I said, what I would say is Jason was maybe 8 to 10 years when I first started. So it's putting your time in. So like I said, like he put his time in, he did the work, and he stayed writing. That's what it is. I think as comics, we get frustrated. It is what it is. Like sometimes you be like, man, I feel like I should be getting more looks. I should be getting booked more. I should be getting this and getting that. Don't worry about all that. Yeah. What's for you is for you.
I'm mad. It's coming. I'm mad that I can't write new jokes as often as other people. I'm like, what is wrong with me? I'm like, why is people will be like, hey, I wrote this new joke today, or hey, I wrote like 2 new jokes I'm going to do on stage today. And I'm like, what? How are you doing this?
Writer block happens. What I would say is this: what you do is you go back and you look at the old jokes and you tighten them up. You see, okay, let me add a new tag. Let me take something out. Let's try something differently.
We were just talking about this before you walked in.
You keep finessing what you have until to the point where it's like pop, 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 pop. Like it's every 3 to 5 seconds. There's a chuckle. There's a giggle. There's something going on until nothing happens. And then for me, if I go to a show and I see my homie kill, I get inspired. Like, I'm like, man, let me get my phone. Let me get to writing. Because I absolutely love seeing other comics rock out. It's a great feeling, because especially if I know you and I know the hard work you put in, I'm like, yeah, I need to get back in the pen. I need to get back in the lab.
I also love like going like to out of city mics where it's where they like are not doing great, and then you're like, oh, they're not ready.
Yeah. and it happens like if you go, like say, when you go to another time mic, like the style of comedy is different based off of the location. Like I said, like Dayton does something different, Toledo, Cincinnati, everybody's different. Yeah. So when we come with our Columbus flavor, they be like, yo, like y'all nice with him. Like, yeah, we got some time or whatever. But it's something different. So I always tell people, like, listen, hit other city mics, and like, unfortunately, I be trying to tell people, I'm like, listen, when I go to like an out of town mic, I'm not working on new material. I'm giving y'all some heat, because I want somebody who's here to be like, hey man, I want to bring that cat Mark back. That's what I'm doing. Mm-hmm.
See, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I feel like there's like a conversation. It's like, do you do new? Do you do old? And I always like kind of like lean on like always like keep doing your material.
Yep.
Like if you're doing 5 minutes, I don't know, but, maybe the ratios depending on like how deep you are.
Right.
Like you know, if you're so deep in that like that your fucking tight 10 is too, it's like, you know what I mean? It's
right.
There's no more tightening that you could do.
Right.
Then sure, go out and do a new 5
right.
or whatever. But like, I don't know, man. Like,
so
I feel like people be trying to go out, doing a whole new 5,
and that's
and it's like, dude. Like, first of all, how are you going to even know if these new jokes are working if you're not, like, trying to follow it up with something that you know is going to get a laugh?
So you're 100% correct. So what you do is you do your material that works, that you know works, and then you sprinkle in some new material in the middle of that.
Exactly.
And test it out. But that's, like literally, somebody told me one time, he said he got like an hour material. He said, but my hour is my original 5. Just me adding to that original 5.
That's crazy.
You don't get rid of that original 5. That original 5 still works. You still use it. He said, when he said that, I was like, cause like my original 5 minutes, I'll bring it out every so often, but I'd be forgetting about it. I'm like,
dude, that's crazy.
I'm like, I still got these. But like I said, but when you get to a point when you got 45 to an hour, it's like,
in 5 minutes, I'm probably, depending on like if there's like if there's like the crowd work joke that I'm doing,
right.
I probably am popping off maybe 7 to 8 jokes.
That's good
though. That would mean if he took 5 minutes of material and turned it into an hour, that would mean that every single one of those jokes would have to become 10 minutes. 8 to 10 minutes. Like, bro, that's insane.
But like I said, you just keep building to that joke, and then like I said, you'll add different tags, you'll have different concepts. Wow. Like so, because like a lot of comics struggle with transition. So what I typically do is I can let's say if somebody says they booked me for a show and they're like, oh, well, this is an event for little people. Come up with some jokes about little people. As tough as that sounds, I'm going to write something. Now I'm not going to be offensive because that's who's paying the bill.
Yeah.
But like I said, but if I have a general idea, I can usually write about that. But like, man, listen, like where do you buy your shoes at? Like, do you just go to Toys R Us? Like, I'm coming up with something that can relate to you guys. But just like I said, that's the thing that I think a lot of people struggle with. You writing a set, because if you write like jokes, that's cool. But writing a set and like developing and structuring a set, it's an art that you need to work on, I think.
Yeah, man. And that's like something that I feel like that I have done pretty good job of, is like where, and I don't know if it's like maybe I do this on purpose, like subconsciously I'm doing this, where it's like I'm like normally when I'm writing a set or writing my like material, I'm typically writing it in like spurts. So it's like when I first started writing about my family, it's like most of it was about my family. Right. And then it's like now I'm kind of like in a relationship phase where it's like writing about like relationships.
That's what you know. That's what you're experiencing. Yeah.
And so it's like one of those things where it's like now I've never really had the issue of like transitioning. Now that I'm getting into like topics about sex and also my family, now it's like now I got to figure it out. Like, how do I talk about, my dad, having diabetes and then talk about doing a sex tape? You know what I mean? Like how do you just
speaking of my father? Like I said, the transition and the segues are so important. But like I said, once you figure it out, once you figure out how to transition to that, it's a game changer. Because like I said, like I've heard people tell me like, listen, like they've heard the jokes I've done before, but the way I transition them now is different. They be like, yo, like I like that transition. I'm like, that's a different compliment to get. Like, oh yeah, I like your transition. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, that's like somebody complimenting your calf. Like it's not like, oh, it's not a good compliment, but it ain't a bad compliment. Like, I'll take it. Oh yeah, those are nice calves right there. Okay. So yeah, transitions are important though. Like I said, you just want to create a way to get to the next topic, and once you figure that out, oh, it's a game changer.
So when did you say you started figuring a lot of stuff out? You're 8 years in, and I mean you fucking killed it, dude. Like you know what I mean? Like even in a room that like was super old, super white, it's like you went up there and like fucking kept it real.
Blessing. So for me, I think maybe year 4 or 5 is when it's like really started to connect. Like, so you're right on that precipice of when you're like, so year 5 is when I started to kind of figure out what kind of comic I wanted to be. Cause I think like most comics, our first years or two, we're trying to sound like our favorite comic. We're up there telling jokes, trying to sound like Eddie Murphy or Richard Pryor, whoever we like. And you get to a point where you was like, wait a minute, I'm gonna just be me. It's like you don't realize you're doing it, but like you start to kind of like transition into like, hey, this is the kind of comic I want to be. And once you find that like find your niche and find your lane, it's just smooth selling from there. Like I think most comics, like the first couple of years, you're just
trying to be funny.
You're just trying to be funny. After a while, you stop worrying about trying to be funny. Because I said, like, some people say, you know, you don't have to be funny the whole time. As long as you're entertaining and engaging, that's all that matters. Like if I can keep an audience engaged with me, they might not laugh at every joke, but they're rocking with me and they're still paying attention. Then I still got the room. Because that's all bombing is losing the room.
Yeah.
Like I said, you don't have to get booed.
Because they dead.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been booed yet. Let me knock on some wood. I've never been booed yet. But like I said, but bombing is basically losing the room. Where if they pull out their phone, they having side conversations louder than you.
I remember one time because there was like a point in time where I was trying to do like more like current stuff.
Current events are interesting.
Yeah, and I went to Beyond the Bricks, and I was trying to do a joke. I'm Kyle Rittenhouse, you know, black room, and one of the girls in the room was just like, nope. She was just like, move on. And I just said his name. I didn't even say anything yet. I was just like, so Kyle Rittenhouse. And she's like, nope, move on. And I was like, all right.
Yep. But you read that rule, was like, go ahead, keep it moving.
Yeah, I didn't really have to read it. It was an audio book, you know, it kind of just read itself to me.
That's interesting. But like I said, well, once again, it comes with, you know, with time and just experiences, like reading the room. Like if like I'll take a joke that I have that's tailored towards a younger audience. Yeah. If I know that it's an older audience, I'll make a reference to somebody that they can relate to. Like, oh yeah, that new Paul McCarthy it's jamming. They be like, oh okay. But they think I'm rocking with. I ain't listening to no Paul McCarthy. I don't know what the last album Cher put out. But if I know the audience is that's what that would grab them, that's what I'm gonna use. Yeah. So you have to use what's in your disposal at that time.
Yeah, and like that's just like for example, like shout out to Ty Erskine. You know, he just posted those videos of him doing like 3 minutes at a church.
At a church,
bro, and he killed it.
And churches are like I took the time. Churches are easy, but they're hard at the same time, because if you're not relatable and you're not friendly enough to them, oh yeah. Like I've only seen one person get booed at a church show. I didn't know it was possible. It happened one time. It was a new girl, and
it was a girl.
She bombed for 10 minutes straight, and she had never did stand-up before. She bombed so bad that the host came on stage while she was still telling jokes and handed her purse. Was like, here you go. I laughed so hard at that. He had to talk about her, like as a host. Like typically, I'm not mad at any host.
He handed her purse
while she was still performing. Like she was still up there. Like he was like, here you go.
Oh God, damn it! Oh no!
It was bad. Like
was she like pissing him off? Like what was
she? Was just like like they was giving her the light. Like she was only supposed to do 5 minutes, but she was just up there talking, and she was getting no laughs. And they were me. They was getting ready to boo. Like I saw the boo get ready to happen. I was like, ooh yeah, it's about to come. Like I'm like a boo is like it's like a train wreck. Like you want to turn away, but you like, hey, let me just look a little bit. It's horrible. So she was just about to get it, and he came running from backstage. He said, hey man, where her purse at? Grabbed her purse, brought her on stage. Said, here you go, and just took the mic from her hand, and then he proceeded to roast her.
Here's your purse. Leave.
Man,
that girl was so unfunny. What?
And he'd even go there, right? He just took a different route. He's like, man, the cocaine here is good, man. I don't know what y'all putting in there. Like he went a different route.
Wow. So instead of saying she's unfunny, he's saying she's on cocaine.
He came with it creatively. But in doing so,
way better.
Way better. And in doing so, it brought the audience back on his side. Like they understood that, and then she never did stand up again. Like she
God.
Yeah.
man, if you're getting booed by God's chosen people,
I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know, man.
But but how
I don't know.
How do we say who's comedy for though? Like that's not fair. But it's just like she went up there. And
the most successful comedians in our in this industry are the Jewish ones. So I feel like if you get booed at a church, you're fucked, dude. Probably should take up IT or something.
I would say just revamp those jokes and everything, because like as a comic, it's like I said, it's hard. This is anybody who signs up to do this.
Yeah. Like
when I first started, like I would sign my name on a sign-in sheet, and then I'd be like, man, I'm getting ready to leave. But I remember I signed my name. I'm like, oh, I gotta go up here, and I said that was the only thing because I dreaded going up and bombing. Like I dreaded all that stuff. Now, do I still get nervous? Yes, but more so now it's like I desire to do well, but I also changed my mindset instead of saying I desire to do well or I hope I do well. My mindset is, I'm about to go up here and rock out. I'm finna kill this show. I'm finna give these people a great show. So the power of the tongue is important. Like it's a book called like The Four Agreements or like that talks about that. It says that your mind doesn't know when you're joking. So if you say, man, I'm never gonna be a headlining comedian, your mind doesn't know that you're being facetious. It just thinks, oh, well, he doesn't believe it. He don't believe in himself. So why should we?
That's like that whole manifestation thing, man.
It's real.
I've heard that like people like, when they talk about that stuff, they're like the universe doesn't know the difference between like no and I want and I don't want.
Right.
So it's like if you just say, I don't want to like, be poor, the universe doesn't know what don't means.
They don't know you want to be rich.
It just heard I want,
Right.
So it's just like you're just gonna be like whatever. So that's interesting. So it's like it doesn't know, your mind doesn't know if it's joking.
Exactly.
So you got to be
every time you like. So Mark Gregory, he has a class that he teaches. I don't know if you've ever seen Mark Gregory.
I've seen him, but I've never like talked to him actually.
He's one of those guys, like I said, like where no matter how long you've been doing comedy, he'll give you good advice. He'll like if I got a show and I'm like I don't know what to charge or whatever, I'll call Mark up and he'll give me feedback. But he said listen, he said the difference between y'all and me is when y'all look in the mirror, y'all say, man, I hope I do well. He said it'd be like 3 days before the show, and he's telling himself, hey man, I'm about to go over here and do this thing. I'm finna give these people this. I'm about to do this. I'm about to do that. So he's already transitioning. He's already training his mind to say, oh, he's going to do well. And once you do that, you go into it.
It's kind of like a crazy person mindset.
To do stand-up, you got to be insane to do stand-up on purpose.
I was thinking about that when you were like, I was dreading bombing. Like, dude, I kind of like, not that I liked bombing, but like, I was like, I'm going to go up there and just do it.
Okay.
We'll see what happens, I guess.
And see, and that mindset, you can't just say, oh, we'll see what happens. I'm going to go up there and I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And whether they like it or not.
I feel like that's the difference now is that now I walk into a room and I like take a look and like I'm like watching some of the comedians and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, dude, like I've just noticed that like, maybe I'm just not seeing their best. Maybe it's just not at its tightest or whatever.
Right,
but
right.
like, dude, like I just have a feeling that like I'm watching a lot of people who aren't like tightening their stuff.
And like I said, your first couple of years, it's like I said, it's finding that. And it's like I said, so if no one pulls you aside and kind of gives you any tutelage, how do you get it? It's trial and error. Like I said, when I first started, there was nobody like, hey, let me like I say, Kenny Mock is one of the few people who, my first time I sent him my video, he watched. Shout out to Kenny. Kenny's one of my favorite. Like he actually told me to go to Scarlet Gray. He was like, like I saw him at a show and I was like, bro, I want to do this. He was like, all right, go here. But I sent him my first performance, like 5 minutes at Scarlet and Gray. He watched it. He sent me back a paragraph with notes. And he was using terms like call back. I didn't know what none of that meant, but it meant the world to me because he actually watched the video.
That's
and
crazy.
Yeah,
like there are very few comedians in the scene that like for example, shout out to Xavier Dunton.
Xavier's, that's a G.
Whenever he like takes the time out of like the open mic time to like stop you and like say like, hey, like what about this line?
Right.
Or hey, I like if he's ever like told me that he likes a joke of mine, I'm like, okay, hell yeah, it's on the right track.
That's definitely, like I said, because I said Xavier and I, like I said, if he does a set and I'm there, I got my phone already because I know I got some notes and I got some tags. And he looking at me like this. I'm like, no, I ain't got no notes. That was good. Just leave it alone as it is, and vice versa. Like, I love a comic like that. Like, because that's what I do. Like,
and he doesn't waste his time either. So he's not just like talking to every comic that he sees. He's like, he only is like, he'll talk to you, but like when it comes to like the shop stuff, he's just like, if he comes up to you and is like, hey, like this line I think would work, or hey, like I really like the direction that you're taking this joke, it's like, hell yeah, that's like a good person to get feedback from.
He's arguably the smartest comedian I've ever met in my life. He's very intelligent, highly intelligent. I remember one time we was doing a show and I was like, he's
the guy that recommended you for the show.
Yeah, he texted me like, yeah, that's my guy. Me and Dunson, we go back. Like if I got a show and like I said, like his mic in Newark, I need to make that I have it. I'm like, but it's a Thursday and that traveling on a weekday is always hard. I'm like, man,
that was last week, right?
Yeah, it's on Thursdays night. Yeah.
Yep, and it's only once, 1 week.
Is it one? Maybe.
Is it monthly?
I think he might be doing it monthly. I think he texted me about that. Yeah, I'm gonna try to go next month because this month I need to go because just because it's his mic. I want to show out and shout out.
Yeah, of course. Like because he's had a few different mics come here and out and everything. So I'm really hoping that this sticks around. I don't know if it is monthly or weekly. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I think it might be. I think you might be right. I think it is monthly. But like I said, Xavier he gives a great space. It's a great safe space for you to go up there and try some stuff out. And like I said, the feedback from him is always good. Like it's always like intentional. He's not gonna just tell you, oh yeah, that's not funny. He gonna be like, okay, maybe try it this way. Like he's a real positive dude.
I thought it was hilarious when we were in the car and we were talking about that line that he had gave me and I didn't understand it. And then you guys all made me understand. He was like crocodile, and I was like, what's a crocodile? I was like a monster, like a cock alligator. What is going on? And he's like, no, like cock. Give that cock a dial. And I was like, oh my God. I sat on that for months.
It was months?
Dude.
Yeah.
He gave that word to me fucking months ago. And I literally wrote it in my phone as the animal. As like a cock alligator. Like a cockadile. Listen. And I was like.
Once you get that, once you flush that thing out, that is going to be hilarious.
Dude, right now it's at a minute with the just joke, and then like I can like right now with just the crowd work, it's at like another minute and a half. So
and that's why I said that crowd work. Like I said something like that. Like, ma'am, you know what a crocodile is, right? Like I said, once you bring them in, and once you get them involved and engaged, like if they're talking back to you, you got them.
Dude, that's like the one thing that I've realized is that like so I serve tables. That's like what I do for my day job,
right.
And I've noticed that like my crowd work on just like my solo like just like a 4-top or a 2-top, it's like I can do that, but for some odd reason it's like trying to now do it in a crowd, it like fucks me up. I don't know what it is. Like I can walk up to a table,
it just be charming, all that good stuff.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's like the mix of people. Like I can like not stereotype them, but I can like look at a table and be like, all right, these are businessmen. They're gonna laugh at this, or they're gonna do something like this. Right. But like when I'm in a crowd, it's like a lot harder for me for some odd reason. I don't know why.
Can you see? Because like I said, a lot of time when I'm on stage, I can only see that front row only. So is that a factor? Like
I can see people. It's just like, well, actually. Yeah, I mean, I could see people. I was drunk the other day, and I was doing that crowd work, and I pointed at somebody that I think I thought was a woman, but may have been a man, but I'm not sure. I have no idea because they didn't correct me, and then later I think they said something later, and I think it was a man, but I'm not sure.
And see, that's hilarious itself. You got to bring that back up. Like my bad, bro. My bad, ma'am, like, sir, ma'am, whatever. Like I said, you have to adjust and everything. That's hilarious, though.
It's so crazy because I mean I have long hair too, and I mean people have definitely misgendered me before, so it's not like a huge deal. I don't get offended.
Like I said, my mom and I were like my mom look so much alike that my stepdad walked in the house one day and almost kissed me. I was like it was bad.
My dad almost went to prison. This is the story that Mark's telling right now.
Like he leaned down. I was like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I thought you was your mom. I said, sure you did. I said, this ain't that type of house right here. I said, listen, I call the people right now.
He's like, we moved out of Alabama real quick.
A long time ago. We don't get down like that. But like I said, like it happens. Like I said, I think the biggest thing though, like I always try to respect people's, genders and pronouns. Like I said, especially like I said, it's such in today's time, it's such a sensitive thing. So like I said, something like that. When the comedy guys give you something like that, hey, you roll with it though. You apologize and keep it moving, but you gotta address it.
Have you always been here?
Yep.
Always been in Columbus.
Yep.
Always been in Columbus.
Like I've stayed in other places like Atlanta for a little while and everything with family, but mostly Ohio is it. Columbus
okay.
is it.
And how old are you right now then?
I'm 39.
39.
Yeah.
So you didn't start doing stand up until 31.
Yep. I was.
Wow.
Because like when I first started, like I wanted to start when I was a kid. Like I've always wanted to do stand up comedy. But like a lot of people, I didn't have anything to talk about. Like I had no world life experience, so I would get up there and talk about, you ever take a good dump and it felt great? Like I didn't have any material. I didn't have nothing to talk about. But life experiences help. That's why I say like so. You keep doing it and let stuff keep happening to you. You gonna have material to talk about. Like I'm even now. I'm reverting back to old memories and I'm telling stories now. Like I have a joke now that I'm working on about my brother. He would take me on dates and he would, pick me up and take me to go see the girl and act like he was going to chaperone the date. Then he would drop me off at the movie. Then him and the girl would go have sex. And my brother did this all the time. And I was like, I said, did he pick me out? And like, did I undervalue myself? But he would do it like, cause like I said, I was real clean cut and parents loved me. So they would think that the girl's going to date with me when actually they go with my brother who's 2 years older. And like people like, man,
what a savage, man.
My brother definitely didn't mess around. My brother has 10 kids and 5 baby moms. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he don't play.
Is your brother Nick Cannon? Your real name's not Fazon. It's
Cannon.
Marc Cannon.
Marc Cannon. I like that actually. That's actually right. But yeah, my brother was Nick Cannon before Nick Cannon. He was future. It's like I said, he was.
That's crazy.
But like I said. And what's crazy about that is this fool would actually tell girls like, oh yeah, I got 10 kids. And they would still give him his number.
Wow.
And
now we got, he'd be like, I have 6 kids. Mm-hmm. Now I got 7 kids. I got
the number
kids.
Just kept increasing.
And they just like, all right, I like that.
I honestly don't know how many kids he got. Like
he's got 2 kids.
He can have some kids off the books. I just don't know.
He's got 10 kids.
I really don't know. Like it might, like if a kid
but
walk
for
up
sure
to me,
10?
For sure 9 or 10. Wow. Yeah.
That's crazy. Do you have any kids?
I have 2.
Dang.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
But I'm done with that. The bank of Mark.
I saw him, and I'm like, no way.
Yeah, the bank of Mark is closed. I'm not making no more people. That's
no more people.
Yeah, no.
Boy, girl.
Boy and a girl.
Oh hell yeah! So you got
got exactly what I need.
Yeah, he didn't.
Yeah. So I had my son when I was young. I had him when I was 20. So he's 19 now. So
okay.
So So that's why those jokes about being a young dad, like they're so relatable because like I really was a young dad. So people are like, oh wow, like that's like no one ever believes that my son is 19.
How does he feel about your stand up?
He loves the fact that I be making. He tell people, "Oh yeah, you wouldn't be nobody without me." Like he's such a prick. Oh man, he's a miniature version of me, and I love it though. So
that's funny.
So he he enjoys that. And then my daughter, she'll be 2 on the 25th, so she's young. Like so
how does she feel about your stand up? She
when she's at show, she just walks on stage and everything.
Shoot.
And I'm like, who bad baby is this? Until my lady walks up, like, dang, that's right, that's my baby. And people just I make her part of the show. If you part of the family, you're gonna be part of a joke. Like it is what it is. Like so.
That's awesome.
But I think that's a big part of it. Like I said, like you take your pain and you make it into comedy. Like I remember my grandma had Alzheimer's, and we would make jokes about it. Like they'd be like, you can't do that. Like, or my grandma had cancer, and I was a kid, and my whole family let me call my grandma skee ball for years. Because she was bald headed because she was going through chemotherapy. Now I didn't know this at the time, so I was like, "Hey man, where's skee ball at?" And my family, they laughed about that. And then as an adult, I was like, wait a minute, you mean she had cancer?
Oh.
I said, why y'all didn't tell me?
Oh, shit.
Like I said, so my family, as a family, they're all special. So like, I'm like, listen, you do something.
They're all special.
You do something dumb in front of me. Yeah.
Bunch of special material.
Hey, listen, I keep some jokes. Like I said, your family stuff. Like I said, it's going to be really good. Like I said, the more you tap into it.
So like right now, I have stuff on my parents. Mm-hmm. Next is like like siblings.
Oh,
gotta,
that's
like work. Yeah, and
that's a deep well for you because I say because you got years of experience with them that you could talk about.
Got 5 sisters and 2 brothers.
Wow, y'all big family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say, so lots of feminine energy going on over here. That's probably where a lot of my jokes are gonna stem from.
So you could be like, man, I peed sitting down till I was like 19. Like you
what are you talking about? I'm still peeing when I'm sitting down. What are you? Let's be honest here.
It's good for your prostate, I guess, huh?
Is it? I don't know. I mean, we can do the research.
I've heard that, but I'm like,
that's what I tell people. That's why I
do it.
It's good for your prostate,
Yeah.
masturbation, and peeing while sitting down. Lowers your risk of prostate cancer.
This is very true.
Why is standing?
I have no clue. I just heard that sitting down is good for your prostate.
Interesting.
It is extremely extreme.
Maybe just like relaxes it. Maybe I don't know.
For older men above 50, it actually drastically reduces the urinary tract and prostate issues. So,
wow. But we just learned something new.
There you go.
Yeah,
Look at that.
Yeah. 'Cause I'd heard it.
Mark with the unknown knowledge.
Right. I heard it, but I didn't know. I didn't do any research about it. I'm like, yeah. Because like the prostate thing is a weird thing in itself.
Yeah,
like,
man. I just like do everything they say reduces the cancer. So I'm just peeing while sitting down. I'm fucking.
You masturbate a lot
all the time.
Yeah.
Probably 4 or 5 times a day.
Like girlfriend be like, bruh, I'm right here. Like, oh my bad.
Yeah, I'm like, you just don't do it like a chill does. Sorry, dude.
I know my body.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like I was thinking about the prostate. I'm like, you mean tell me in 2023 we still have not found a better way to check your prostate than putting your finger in my butt? Like, no.
I know, bro.
I'm like, come on, there's got to be a better way.
Put a sticker on me or something, like, like a heartbeat thing. I don't know, like what are those stethoscopes? You just like put it on my ass or something. And
I don't know. Like I feel like I should be able to take a pill. You can put a camera, go around there, look all you want, and then I poop it out. Like I just do not like the idea of somebody, in a sterile room, just like, hey, bend over. And
yeah, I'd rather be in a dirty hotel with a stripper.
I feel like that would make it better.
I would rather have her stick her fingers in my ass.
It would make it better.
You know what I mean?
Like I feel like it would be aligned
a
with
doctor
the situation.
with professional knowledge,
yes,
on how and where the prostate is.
Right. But like I said, that's the weird thing about that.
Do they use lube? Do they like Vaseline up?
I don't know.
Right, AJ knows.
Okay.
He's like,
I don't know. Like I said, I'm not quite there yet. But I'm like, listen, I was like, man, by 49 and a half, I might just go ahead and commit suicide. Not to joke around, but I'm like, I do not want nobody to do that to me.
Yo, that's why you're trying to get into the butt stuff. You gotta get in the butt stuff sooner.
Gotta get in the butt stuff earlier.
So then it's not a surprise. You're like, all right,
it's not my first rodeo.
He's like 2 fingers. I can get 4 in there, bro.
That's not my
He's
best.
like, just go ahead and feel in there if you want.
That's hilarious. Yeah. The prostate's a funny thing.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
That it is like really weird, just like going into a doctor's office and just having some man or woman, depending on what kind of healthcare provider you have.
I don't even know which is worse. Like, would it be better to have a female do it? Because like I feel like it would be emasculating. Like wait a minute.
I know, because it
that.
might be cold in there. She's gonna be having like cold ass gloves on. She, you know what I mean? Like, and she's just like,
so she's doing the prostate. She look around like, no, promise, it's not like that.
Yeah, I know.
This is give me 5 minutes and then we can do this again. Like I don't know. That's crazy.
Man, you got a quick recovery time, bro. No wonder why he got 2 kids.
Like, he got not no more. I'm 39 now.
You don't got 2 kids no more. You got rid of them.
No. My recovery time is not that fast. Now I need a nap and a sandwich. Then I'll be good. I got you.
I need a couple days and maybe a cry. I don't know.
Yeah,
in between
2 to 3 business days. Yeah, I got you.
I call my mom. Just like, grandma.
Yeah, let me talk to my therapist about this,
dude. Oh my gosh, that's fucking hilarious, dude. So you got any like podcasts or anything that you do on the side?
I used to have a podcast. Me and comedian Silas used to do. We were just talking about bringing it back. Because like I said, we had the random podcast. It was me, him, and Hassan, and we had some some really good guests on there. We had Ty Moore on there, one of my favorite comics all the time. Like I'm like, if you don't like Ty, something's wrong with you. It's the problem is you. It's not nobody else. Ty Moore is awesome. And then I think we're thinking about bringing that one back. Like I said, 'cause we got the equipment. We just been holding out.
When I first started, I didn't know about Jason Banks yet.
Mm-hmm.
So my favorite comedians when I first came into the scene were Ty Moore.
Okay, good one.
Joel Good. Peter Brick.
Peter's fire. He's funny.
Dude, he's my
Does he
favorite.
still do stand up though?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, he's just been doing a lot of career work. So
Okay.
like, he was working for the post office for a while.
Okay.
I don't know what he's doing. He might still be. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah.
But he's doing something. But he's still going out. He's still
Okay.
working material. Like, dude, the one thing that I noticed about them that other comedians didn't have, and maybe it was just because like they were newer comedians, but like they all had personalities.
Because
Like,
Peter Brick and Ty, like Ty is a
dude,
personality.
Yeah, dude.
Like Peter is like I remember when Peter Brick won the Funny Bone competition.
Yeah.
He did that the dinosaur joke he does.
Dude, his
And he, like I said, he basically turned to the Jim Carrey right in front of our eyes.
dude, that's what I'm saying, dude.
I watched it happen. Like I watched the transformation, and the stool was there, and he jumped on the stool and he landed it. When he landed, I said he won it. And they was like, no. I said I guarantee you he wins that after that. Like they was like, nope. I think I won a bet that night. I said, I'm telling you, that's gonna win it. You cannot if
so he jumped he box jumped onto the stool.
and was like, yeah, and did the whole thing. It was hilarious. I said, if he don't win it, it's rigged. I said and he won it. Like he was one of the few.
Oh my
people.
God,
like,
dude!
Like Peter Bricks is a fine.
2015 was a different time, man.
Was it 2015? Was it?
Yeah, that was when it was.
It can't be that. Was it?
It was that long.
Dang. But yeah, he was. Yeah,
It was either that or 18.
it was one or two. Like I said, 18 sounds about maybe right. Like I said, 15 seems like.
It was a long ass time ago.
It was a minute ago. So, do you have a top 5 of comics right now, like local comics that you have?
Yeah. So I mean, I would say those 4, and then Jason Banks probably.
Jason, okay.
Like I was gonna say, man, it's like watching Jason go up and like it's just like so tight. It's so good.
Right.
He's got his own personality. It's just really hard. Like like you said, it's like after a certain amount of time you start working on your voice and you start like doing that stuff. So it's like once you start nailing jokes in your voice, it's like a whole different thing.
Cause I be trying to tell people, I'm like, listen, when Jason get on stage, that's not how he's talking regularly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's a persona he cuts on like that. I'm like, bro, I said, is he drunk? Is he high? And then you don't know because he could be. He really, like I said,
he could be.
He could be.
Both.
He really could be like. Because like I said, I'm like, bro, I don't know, but it's such a great bit. Like,
I was gonna say he like anybody who has their own sort of like thing going on, other than just like, hey, I was at the grocery store the other day and a lady
there's no
came
knock
up to me
on the monotone comic because, like I said, if you're going to be a monotone comic, the punchlines got to hit.
Yeah,
that's like I said. That's the only difference. Like I said, but if you're going to have personality, it kind of helps. Like I said, like
oh, you know what? Maybe okay. That like I didn't think about it like that. Okay, so maybe it would be if they like your personality, give you a little bit more leeway on like. How long you can stretch some shit out.
Right. And it makes it more different. Like if you're a likable guy, you're personable on stage, they're going to give you a little bit of leeway. You got a little grace to work on.
That's why I always say it's like it's a really when I first started and also when I clean up, I'm a pretty good looking guy.
Right.
I think that helps a lot.
It does.
When you go on stage and you're not like, but at the same time, I will say there is something to be said about somebody walking up who looks grungy as hell, looks like they just came from a truck stop, and they just fucking kill it.
But they always say that like people who are typically like traditionally good looking aren't funny.
Yeah. Well, I'm not that good looking. I'm just kind of. It's like from far away.
You do okay.
He looks like he could be a really good looking guy, and as soon as they get closer.
So farther away, I could be
that's
his
why,
worth.
That's why I want to stand on a stage, away from everybody.
Away from the people. Okay.
You get too close to me, and then you start being like, He got way too much gray in his hair. Just like
a little gray never hurt. Like the women like the salt and pepper. Apparently.
They do. That's something that I've been finding out.
I've been hearing that. They're like, oh yeah, you got any gray in your beard? Like just a little bit. They're like, let it grow out.
They be asking.
Oh, yeah,
they be asking. They be like,
oh, you got some
Mark,
gray? Like,
calm
down.
Like I got a wife.
I got gray in my pubes. You want to see that?
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean, that's about it.
We'll make it real simple.
Yeah,
cut to the chase.
We'll cut to the chase. Let's get there.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's something that I've noticed a lot of recently. And it's also like hairy.
Yeah.
Like when I was growing up, I was like I don't want any hair on my body whatsoever. You know what I mean? Because I was like always looking at the guys who were always like, you know, jacked and didn't have any
They
hair.
never had any hair.
And
That was
now
which is weird.
women are like,
because like I said,
you're a baby.
Who wants to lay with somebody with no hair anywhere?
I know.
Like, ugh.
I know, right? So it's like, and now I'm getting to the age where it's like I can't control. Like everywhere's starting to get hair, and it's like as I get older, it's just migrating.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's life.
Where you at? Where you at in the hair growth?
You know, in my ears, you know.
Okay.
I got, like I said, my knuckle. I started seeing hair in my knuckle. I'm like, what in the world? Like hair be growing everywhere.
Damn,
Yeah.
the hair and the ears thing. My dad was telling me about that.
Yeah.
And that was like about, like you said, you're what,
39?
39. Yeah, he was about 40 something when he
Yep.
told me wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like I said, enjoy your youth. Like I said, take full advantage of it. You know, do bungee jump. You know, jump off of buildings and stuff like that because your knees are gonna go bad.
Dang,
Yeah,
man.
all of it.
Yeah. I maybe you never experienced this. Maybe I'm just fucking insane. But like, so like I didn't actually like realize that I was like past 23 until I was like 25.
Like you just like life was just happening, and then one day, like, hey man,
I'm like old
Yeah.
I'm getting old as fuck.
you're 25 right now.
I'm 27 now.
27.
So like it was like 2 or 3 years. It was like maybe 25, almost 26, where I was like, oh shit, like I'm actually like growing older.
No,
like,
that definitely happened to me. Like it was like a phase where I was young and desirable and everything. I was out here, and then one day I was just like, wait a minute, I'm 27. I got bills. I got 401k.
I gotta do some shit.
I got stuff to do tomorrow. So it's interesting. Yeah, it
Wow.
does happen. Like you don't even realize it.
How would you say that? So you've had your kid the entire time that you've been doing stand up.
Yeah.
So there's not like been a difference. How would you say, is there been a difference to your stand up after having a second kid?
Yeah, like I say, because like I said, when I had my son he was a teenager when I first started, so I really could just leave him home and go to a mic.
Yeah.
When a 1-year-old is a little bit different. I got to make sure I got to sit and make sure her mom is home. I got to make sure I got my stuff situated before I can't hit the mics like I used to hit the mics.
Yeah.
And it sucks because sometimes I'll go to a mic and no intentions of performing. I just want to go and be around comedy. Mm-hmm. Because I get inspired. I can give tags. Like if I'm at a mic and I hear you got something, I think I can add something to it. It depends on my relationship with you. Like so if I saw you at a mic and I hey Eddie, I got a tag for you. But somebody who's new, I always try to gauge the situation. But hey, are you open to feedback? And if they say yeah, I give it to them. But if not, because I've given cats some tags that would make their joke funnier. I know it would make the joke funnier. But people's pride and ego won't allow them to receive that.
One of my first like comedy friends I would like hang out with and do some writing with before we like really started doing all that, I went up to him one time and like I think he's really funny.
Right.
And he was doing a joke. It was killing. But there was just like one line where I was like, dude, you should replace this line. Because like when it comes to like comparisons, one of the things that I found that I enjoy when I'm like comparing two items. So it's like, Mountain Dew and a cell phone.
Right.
The first two lines would be how like Mountain Dew is like the cell phone. And then the last line would be how cell phone is like the Mountain Dew.
Okay. You flip it. Okay.
And so, like, he was, like, doing some jokes on cats and women, like how men are like dogs, women are like cats.
Right.
And he was just, like, he did his comparisons, but they were just all cat, like, comparisons. And I was like, dude, just, like, take the third one and just, like, add a human element to it. You know what I mean? Just, you're still talking about the cat.
Right.
But
Right.
now...
Did he do it?
Now, yeah, he did. And
Yeah,
he's
he
kept
did.
it in there. And it's fucking great. It, like, literally works. It's
That's
like...
listen. That is honestly one of my best feelings when I give somebody a tag to a joke, and it takes a joke
And he
to
was like
another level.
he said like he was a 10-year comic.
Yeah.
And I was like... I was like maybe a year in, maybe
So
a year and a half, and I was like, that's inspiring.
It's like an assist or throwing a touchdown to somebody else. Like I'm like, hey, they get all the glory. I'm cool. Like I'll never be like, oh yeah, I gave so and so this joke. No, that's your joke.
Yeah.
But like I said, but on my inside, I'm like, all right, every time they do that.
He's like, yeah, I did that. I
helped that. Yeah. As a proud dad, that's I did that. But I love giving people like an assist to a joke.
And the same thing too. I mean, it's a little disappointing, but like if you've ever like seen a joke online that is similar to your joke,
oh,
you know
like
what
the
I mean?
memes and stuff like that,
or just like an online or like a like a weekend update or something like that. You know what I mean? And I think that like even that is almost like that almost makes me happy because then it's almost like, okay, now I know I'm on the right track.
Right.
These people are making the same joke.
And they have millions of followers. They got all this
exactly.
money. So, and I think, like I said, unfortunately, with the social media era we're in right now, everybody wants to be funny. Like your grandma was posting funny stuff. You be like, bro, like grandma, if you don't get off the Facebook and stuff like that and go sit down somewhere, but like that's what's going on, and it makes it harder for actual comics. Like there's actual comics that we all know who are taking memes and copying the meme and then posting it as a post, as if people don't know.
So when I first started, I used to use Reddit a lot, and there was a comic that literally was just doing stuff that was on Reddit and like literally saying the stuff that was in the comments. And I was like, whoa, that's insane. Because I just looked at that thread today.
Right.
Like, bro, what?
It hurts your heart. It's disheartening because I'm like, bro, if you're a creative, create. Don't do that. It's so tacky.
I know, dude. And it's like so crazy too because it's like, because like these people are only coming up with one line. They're golden lines. You know what I mean? Because they only have to come up with one.
Right.
So it's like playing on the stuff. And so now you have a bunch of golden ass lines that you just gonna be like, all right.
And if anything, like, hey bro, that's funny. You mind if I use that? Ask.
Yeah.
If they say yeah, there you go, you got it.
Exactly.
I'm like, bro, you don't just.
I know.
I think
it's so
corny.
It's so frustrating, dude. And the other thing that's frustrating is like there's like a newer comic. I don't see him that often, but he will like, and he's not like hiding it. He's like saying that he's doing their bits, but he like does like bigger people's bits,
like bigger name, like real big name comedians.
Yeah. Wow. Like I don't remember what the situation was. If he's like talking about like how he likes that, I don't remember exactly, but like there's like he does like 2 bits, 2 or 3 like jokes by these other comedians. I don't know if he's also trying to impersonate them or whatever, but like yeah, it's weird.
I remember when I first started out, there was a comic and he was at the open mic and he did a Donald Glover joke. Now,
wow,
as a new comic, I'm sitting there looking like, I'm like, bro, does anybody else hear this? I'm seeing red. All of a sudden, Gilly walks in. He said, "Hey, that's Donald Glover's joke," and the room erupted with laughter. I have not seen that comic since then. That was the last time I saw him. I was like, bro, Gilly was brutal.
Dude, I love Gilly, dude. I always
Gilly's straightforward. I like Gilly. Yeah.
When I first started, he was like one of the comics that like really, kind of helped. He was like the first guy to really give me advice because he used to be like one of the guys that like when he was hosting Bossy Girls, he'd just go in the back, just start smoking, hanging out.
Yeah.
And he'd just like forget to light you. You know?
That's because he's good at, like I said, Gilly will never do a 5-minute set.
Yeah.
Never.
Well, and so then, I'm up there and I had only prepared for 5 minutes.
Yep.
Maybe only I probably ran through it in like 3.5, 4 minutes. And I'm sitting there and I'm just like, where's the host? And then when he like came back inside once everything was like whatever, all the commotion was settled, and he like came up and he like brought up the next comedian. He like came up to me and he didn't like yell at me, but it was like don't ever do that again. He's like, if you're on the stage, you use the time. And he was like if I go to the fucking grocery store and come back, you better be on fucking stage. You better be doing time.
Yeah.
Like he's like use, because like and I didn't realize it until like now. Now when I want to do 7 to 12 minutes at a time, and it's like,
where you gonna get it at?
Yeah,
it's hard.
Exactly.
I typically time, like I said, when I go to open mic, I typically am doing all either new material and I sprinkle in like a couple old ones because I'm trying to test the material out. But like doing a 5-minute set now after this juncture in my career, it's hard.
Yeah.
Like if I do a contest, they're like, oh, you only got 5 minutes. I'm like, I'm looking through my phone like, which 5 minutes do I use? Like, it gets to that point. So that's why I say he has a point. Like I said, if you got the time, use the time. Now, granted, if you only got 3 minutes of material, you only got 3 minutes of material.
Yeah.
So you just gotta work on that and build that out. So
all right.
I say yeah.
Well, so I mean, once the podcast comes back up and starts running and going again, then we'll start helping you guys promote that again.
Oh, we definitely have you guys on, so for sure.
Do you have any like website or anything that you promote? Or?
Yeah. All my stuff is on my Instagram, my link tree and everything. That's Marc MARC _FAZON, and you can get to my link tree, and then you can also get merch, my website, and you can see different dates that and these shows I got coming up too.
Okay, fuck yeah, dude. I really appreciate you.
Dope.
Dude, you're fucking killer. Like you did how much time you did?
I don't even know.
28 minutes.
28 minutes. Okay, cool. Yeah.
I mean, or you actually. So I started recording you like later.
Yeah.
Because I was at the stage, came off, hit record.
Right.
So yeah, I think my time might have been like lower, but I think your real time might have been like 29, 31 or something like that.
Okay,
so,
cool.
Yeah, dude, fucking appreciate you.
Anytime, brother.
Fucking thanks for coming out to the show. Thanks
Always.
for coming out to the podcast. Thanks for everything. Everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Catch us on another episode of Help I'm High and Can't Get Down next week or whenever we release one, I guess. Yeah, so we'll see you guys around.
Yep.